All right, so today is well, as you can see, the 3rd of November, and it's graphic media and games, the programs and techniques, and this is the first episode. Today I am going to show you how to, or not how to, but the kind of different programs. For the last 20 minutes, you probably watched me working in Photoshop and creating one of the weapons icons for the Battleship Crossfire X game that I'm producing that should be out hopefully this spring. It was supposed to be out this past summer, however, because of international trade laws, I had to strip everything they did out and practically almost start from scratch, or I had to redo their stuff. So, um, as you can see, Photoshop is it's probably the preferred graphics, especially for Wacom users, because you can get into very detailed with the zoom option. This icon is going to be about this big in the game, and I want to make it look as real and identifiable as possible, yet when you bring it up, it's going to look awesome. So Photoshop does more than just video game textures and whatnot. It has, I do comic books in here. Right now, I'm in the process of making. I ain't saying the storyline because it hasn't been published yet, but yes, I do have a comic book about a young elven warrior, and his job is to save his kingdom from the humans. So, uh, and then also the CSS layout using Photoshop to literally create the design of your website with all the implementation of where you want things to go, and you convert it into a CSS format, which allows you to import it to, let's go over here and I'll show you, gamersden.org, which is in the process of being worked on. You can see that this kind of, it's in the works, and this was all created, as you see it, 100% through this right here, and then I used Notepad++ to modify the CSS and HTML and PHP files, and I import it through a client called the Putty into my server. So let's get into using some of the programs that we got going here. As you know, Photoshop. One of my other favorite tools is using Outrage Demo. It's free for just the demo, but the problem with demo is it comes with watermark. So if you don't want that watermark, you gotta save it, export it, move it into Photoshop, cut out the uh, the um the watermark. So I'll show you how some of this works. Some of the things that are awesome about this, it literally takes on the feel of painting. One of the techniques that I use is called dabbing. And let's see, we gotta get the brush size here. And we're gonna go tool size. We're gonna set that to 60. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna pick a blue, because I always start with blue. It's called dabbing, which is to get the canvas filled with this, and then you use the knife. We're going to go pressure, rotation, and then we're going to go size. We're going to put that one to 80, so it's nice and big. Now start at the center of any one of these, and you literally just do this. So what it does is it has the feel of oil paint when you do this, and as you can see, the lines in there are what gives it that oil painting feel to it, which is pretty freaking awesome. If painting programs have come a long way over the years, everything about it feels almost like using an actual knife in oil or acrylic before it dries up. So all right, so we're gonna get rid of these dots. So the paint on the canvas is technically nice and thick, because you can still drag the knife through it, and you can still see the line. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up here, we're gonna grab a green, and then we're gonna take what do we want? Let's use the filbert. We'll go up there, and oh, we do not want the bleed, so we're gonna take that, and we're gonna go. Oh crap, man! I forgot. Because of the canvas being so thick as it is, we have to literally. All right, so I want the stiffness to be non-existent, and it has the feeling of the brush. So the I want the brush to be real thin, like. So we'll just do this. And it literally pulls in. As you can see, it bleeds just like oil paint. And then we'll just add some yellow. Now, when it comes to making whatchamacallit, you can dab it just like you're putting paint on the canvas, and then there you go. It literally feels like painting. So you can do all sorts of things. Your imagination is the limit with this program. I use this program when I'm creating the box covers or the posters for the games, or uh, a lot of my cartoons. I do the front cover with this, because there's just so much you can do with this. So the purchase version gives you like 2 extra brushes, and I'm not a fan of those brushes, so I never bothered with them. The program runs about $50. It's not bad. The free one is just as good. It's awesome. So we'll go ahead and leave that. Another thing that we have is the verb pipe. Now, this is a binary-based painting program. Now, the 2 guys that built this program are, one's an art professor, the other one's a mathematician, and it's a very unique, very simple system. And what their idea was to create color blending that was better than painting. So I'm going to give you a little example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to take the fluidity, turn it all the way up to 100, and then I think I want the smudge to be pretty up there, so it drags the other colors with it. So I'm going to put it at about 75%. The fluid sharpness, we're going to turn that down to 50, because I don't want lines in it. I want bleeding. So drying speed, we're going to turn the drying off, because I want the whole effect of it going across the canvas. So it's being a bit, there we go. Fluid color push, we want that down to 50%, because we want the blending. The higher the push, the more the color stays what it is when it goes through the other colors. So we're going to start with we need to get the brush size up. We're going to go up to a little bit bigger than that. All right, so let's start with a noxious color. Let's go pink. And I got to get the pen out because I'm using the mouse. The pen is pressure sensitive, so there we go. We're going to see the way it's bleeding right now? That's binary computations right there with the colors. Now we're going to go with the green, and we're going to stick it right in the middle and then push up. And I'll watch the way it blends. All this is binary. Now, when I'm making textures and bump maps, I come in here and use this, especially when I'm doing some obnoxious stuff for special effects that I really don't have any particular design. I just want some really cool looking color shape for some of the After Effects used in Unreal Engine. This is what I do. Right now, this is turning out to look like a flower. So, as an example, it's called Verve. Just Google it if you want to get it. It's totally free. You can find history about the two guys that made this. There's also the let's see what else we got here. Oh, the Psy. The Psy program is a Korean-made art program. It actually comes in Russian, French, and English. I chose the Korean because I didn't want to pay for it. Just because it feels too much like the old version Windows and a cross with GIMP and Windows. It's not really all that great, but if you're in a bind and you want to get something quickly made, it's pretty much the same setup as anything. It's pretty self-explanatory about what's going on and whatnot. So, oil, water, go over here and make so watercolor. Let's go up here, airbrush, and literally start. The more you do it, the darker it gets. That gives you an idea. Now we'll use the pulling effect with the different styles of brushes. And it literally tells you how the paint is applied to the canvas with these four buttons. They're sort of like this is like the center is profound, the outside is opaque, so it looks like airbrush or something. Then you have the flat brush. So the Psy art program, it does come in a free version. It allows for whatever your imagination. These are your layer areas if you want to create different layers and whatnot. This is your brush area. This is the kind of brushes you can import and make your brushes just like you do in Photoshop. So this allows you to make multiple different layers. So if you want to do something over the top of this, let's do something obnoxious like this, and you don't like the way what you see, that's the same kind of layering as this window right here. So these are the different kind of programs that I use when making the graphics for the Unreal Engine game that I'm creating in the Battleship Crossfire X. If you have any programs that you guys enjoy using, please, by all means, share. I'm open for discussion. In the meantime, I am going to go over and continue working on the weapon systems in Photoshop, which is the icons that are used for in the game, and this is called the flaming arrows for one of the ships, which is a flame ship. It uses a physical attack weapon only. Now, the game that I'm creating is going to have 150 weapons and over 10,000 combination possibilities, and it really comes down to how much money you gain in the game to allow you to do this. Let's see, let's go over here. Adobe Substance Painter, ZBrush, 3ds Max. Have you ever used Maya? Because with Maya, you can do the same thing ZBrush does, and you can interact with Maya and Mudbox. So you want the same feel that ZBrush has, that's in Mudbox, and then when you're done, you can just import it back into Maya, and then when you're ready, you can FBX it. I've been a 3ds Max baby since 9th grade. Yeah, I know that feeling. Once you get used to an engine, you don't want to go anywhere else. That's just the way it is. I totally get that. So, do you have anything that you can share with what you've done? Yeah, I have to say ZBrush is pretty awesome, especially when you're because you can do 3D painting as well as 3D modeling with the ZBrush, and that's the cool thing. You can go either way with it. It's great for digital comic books. Let's see, artstation.com. All right, I'm gonna go over there and take a look at this. I suppose I gotta turn on my script so I can see it. Tori Miyazaki and Kevin Mitchell Sketch Lab, and again it's giving me the temporary loss. So you're doing this in Unity. No, UE4? Oh, because it had the reason why I said that is that's technically a Unity symbol, so that's why I was asking. Um, I do like your use of your textures. It really has that metallic feel to it. Copper on red metal. That's pretty slick. That's kind of wicked. I like that. The tattoo applications, mm, um, I'd say that needs a little bit of work because it doesn't form with the muscles. It looks like it's laid on over top of it. I would say put a little bit more opacity to it so it kind of looks like it's part of the skin and not laid on the skin. Uh, let's see. But you did a great job on the metallic uniform. I love the fact that the anti-tropics, they're not like blindingly stupid like some of them are. It has a nice glare to it. Looks almost real. Very nice. I like that. So let's see what else you got going here. Is that the end of it? Yeah, that looks like the end of it. But yeah, that's I'm liking that. So the this character, what is what he's going to be used for? I mean, does he have? Because obviously those hands look like they're for like crawling walls and gripping things. The Sketchfab they added Substance Painter support. I'm not familiar with that. But then again, I haven't been in Unreal Engine for a while now because I'm busy creating the textures and icons. So it's been a month and a half, 2 months since I've actually been inside the Unreal Engine 4. It's strength enhanced, and you also can control each and can break many things. pretty awesome. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I hope it goes somewhere with it, because you got skills. You're welcome. Uh, in Unreal Engine 4, are you making your own game or are you working with a company? An RBG kit. Oh, so you're creating all the characters and the uniform sets and whatnot and putting it as a bundle? Is that what you mean? On stencil. Hmm. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by stencil. Uh, if you mean templates. Um, when using templates, I would strongly recommend against it, because if you start falling into the rut of using other people's works and whatnot and applying it to your, it's going to get recognized by other players, and they're going to instantly say, another zombie game, and just like ignore it. I would say if you really want to get into it, pick up 3ds Max or Adobe Maya, whichever one you start with. Learn it inside and out. Get a Mudbox or ZBrush. Learn how to work with one of those two. Get into it. Build your own meshes. Get one of the 5 top programs for making your skins and your materials and your bump maps. Speaking of bump maps, I currently use a program that's called Crazy Bump, which is awesome. I don't know if I got to relicense it again. Yep, I got to relicense it. I've had it for 5 years, and you got to buy a new license every year. I don't like stealing people's stuff, so but Crazy Bump will literally, it's the best for bumps, period, for giving that 3D look onto materials and whatnot. So I would say get one of each one of those programs and learn them and do your own. Using templates is actually pretty bad. I mean, you might as well just get tracing paper and trace over and someone sign it, and you sign it with your name and say, "I did this." You know, it's just not the same. Yeah, no problem. Do you have any art programs that you prefer to use? Blender is actually a pretty decent program. Me personally, I don't like using it. I've used it in the past, but it's not really my thing because of how annoying it is. It's actually a lazy version of ZBrush. But for the fact that it's a free program, I wouldn't complain about it. I just prefer not to use it. Did you know that GIMP is an awesome free program that acts a lot like the early versions of Adobe Photoshop? GIMP is free. It's 100. Yeah. And so is SciPainter. Those two are get it's annoying, but you get the Korean version of SciPainter, and it's 100% free. If you get the English version, you pay like what, $12. skinning is great in Blender, but you can't transfer the weights to other applications, at least in the past. No, it's still the same way. You can't move it because that's just the way Blender is. That's why one of the biggest reasons why I don't like using Blender is that it's not friendly with other programs, especially with Unreal Engine. I mean, people say it is, but they spend way more time getting that converted to Blender, or I mean into UE4. That's not even worth it. So that tonight was only going to be a half-hour show. We're already 9 minutes in, over. Uh, oh yeah, a Moto is. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring that up. Moto, I haven't used that in like a couple years, but that is an excellent 3D program. That is, I think Moto used to be an extension of what the hell was it? It wasn't Google, it was some other program. I forgot, but yeah, Moto is awesome. It is more. It is the cheapest of the paid 3D software. At least it used to be. I don't know about now. But I'm gonna wrap this up because I only intended this be for a half-hour show tonight. I hope to see people tomorrow or next Tuesday. We're gonna be doing the same thing, discussing graphic media and games. Next week, I'm going to demonstrate the difference between Maya, 3ds Max. Yes, I'll even bring Blender up, even though I hate it, and I'll bring Moto and Google SketchUp. Context clues. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thanks for that. But thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next week.